crafty friends, it's Diana from Crafting Corner Studio. The other day I did a tutorial how to wash these silk screen reusable stencils, and for some reason I did a video and I downloaded it and 2 or 3 of you guys commented that the video did not play all the way through. Thank you so much for letting me know, because sometimes I get busy and I'll just download the video and walk away thinking it worked. And so I totally deleted that video, and I'm gonna do a different video right now on that. I think this is really important that you guys know how to wash your stencils when you buy them, right? So I am gonna do that right now. I'm gonna show you guys how I store them, how I wash them, and a few other things. So let's get into it. First of all, this sponge is on my website. You can use Mr. Clean, you know those scrubby Mr. Clean sponges? Those are really cool. These are kind of like that, but they're a little bit thicker, they last a little bit longer, and they don't flake like the Mr. Clean. If you're in a pinch, I've totally used the Mr. Clean ones when I don't have these on hand, but these do work a little bit better, and these are on my website. They come 2 in a pack. I'm going to open this one and show you. Grab my scissors here. Show you something on this. I don't know if you guys can see the little scrubbies on that. Look how thick this is. I don't know, it's just different. It's better than the Mr. Clean. Like I said, I've used the Mr. Clean in a pinch before, but I like these a lot better. So let me put that back over here. So right now, this is very wet, and I have my stencil on my table here. The stencils are very sticky, and that's how they stick to your surfaces that you're working on. That's what's so awesome about these. So I have it sticky side down. That's how I do it. I start with the sticky side down, and I just start scrubbing away, and I scrub on the side that's got the scrubber. Now, to be totally transparent, you guys, and I usually do not do this, but I got busy over the weekend and I left this stencil down here all weekend long without washing it. And I'm really curious how well it's gonna clean up right now. And I think it's gonna clean up just absolutely fine. But usually I don't do that. I like to clean them within an hour or 2 that I've worked on them. Sometimes when I'm down here in my studio, I just want to keep working on my projects and not stop and wash them. So I'll get a whole pile over in my workstation, kind of my cleaning station actually, and I'll show you guys that sometime. And I get a pile over there, and then I'll stop and clean, because the crafting part's funner, right? Instead of the cleaning part. I do that with my squeegees and everything, and my paint brushes and everything, and kind of wait till they get totally piled up and I'm kind of forced to clean. All right, now I'm going on the sticky side, doing the same thing, just raking it across. But when you're using your stencil, you're mainly putting the paste on this side, right? Not the sticky side, so mainly the paste is on here, so you don't have much scrubbing to do on the sticky side at all. And looks like to me that it just came off just absolutely beautiful right now. And then after I scrub it, I go through, and I used to use paper towels, but paper towels kind of course, flake. These are those industrial, kind of like paper towels. These are what the guys use in the garages and on, you know, they're just thicker. What are they called? They are called Scott Tissues Shop, see, like in the garage, Shop Originals. So they're mainly used in, like I said, guys use them in their garages. These work wonderful, and they come in a box. I'll show you right now so that you guys know what they look like. And this was my husband's idea, actually. because I was just going through paper towels like crazy, and I didn't like how the paper towel was flaking all the time, and I actually had to use more paper towel because it just didn't hold up. Where I can use this over and over again. Sometimes I even have a pile sitting over here that I use for my paintbrushes and everything. So they work just so much better. This cleaned off beautifully, and it sat all weekend long. I am going to scrub just a little bit more. Now, because it's silk screen, you can see right in the screen on here that maybe there's a little bit of paste still left. You can kind of just check it out after you dry it off with that. With this, I don't even know what they're called. It just says multi-purpose shop Scott tissues, I guess. Anyway, after you dry it off, I could kind of see just a little bit still in the screen. So I'm just wiping it again. But I think it looks absolutely great. And that's all I keep doing, is I just go back and forth until I'm happy with the results. And then I use Clorox disinfecting wipes. And that's what the company suggests to do the final wiping of your stencil. And the company says that it kind of brings back the stickiness on the back when you use these wipes. Any fuzz, anything like that, these wipes just seem to rake that off. I can see it right now, just kind of raking it right off. And it kind of just gives it a finishing clean. And it looks great. This, see, that's a silk screen. Let me grab another one from the very beginning, because I did get this one a little wet before I started the video. Just gonna grab this little one back here. See how caked on that is, right? I'm just gonna take my wet sponge. Sometimes I even go like that, put a little water on it. Now, if it's super thick, sometimes I've even just squirted a little water on like that and let it sit for a few minutes and kind of just soak in. Done that before. Take a whole bunch of them and just get them all really wet and let them sit for a few minutes. Sometimes I carefully take my nail if there's some clumps and work that just a little bit, but I never do it across the silk screen part because I don't want my nail to get in there and rip the silk screen at all. I do it kind of around, like this one's words, and I just do it around the wording because I'm impatient. I probably could let this sit a little bit if I wanted to and just let it soak and then work it. Remember how thick that white paste was on there? Look at that. It already came off just absolutely fine. And I love using the wipes too because it really takes off everything and you can really see in the silk screen to make sure if there's anything left that you want to work on to get out of there. And it's that simple, you guys. That simple. Okay? Now, each one of my silk screens comes with a backing. And how I do it is I just put the silk screen down and I put it sticky side up, and I grab the backing that it came with. And each backing I write on the back of it so I know exactly which backing goes to which stencil. This is family, right? Got a little heart on it. I've got family wrote on the back. So I'm gonna put my silk screen down, sticky side up, and this backing has two different sides. This one's real shiny. This is the side that you want down on the silk screen, and I just kind of lined it up real easy peasy. And I try to make sure I got all the bubbles out, because you want this laying flat. You don't want it to start getting bubbles in it, because when you're doing a project, you want this laying flat so that the paste or ink, if you're using ink, does not get underneath there and mess up your stencil. You want it to be flat on here. And then I just take, this one's really wet, so I just take another one of these and kind of go over top. And you are ready for the next time that you want to use this stencil. That simple, you guys. And like I said, I've been doing this 2.5 years actually. I'd have to look. I think it's 2.5 years. And some of my stencils that I had from the very beginning, I'm still using. And I've used them tons and tons of times. It depends how well you take care of them. I will give you a little tip. I have one that says coffee, and it's a big one, and I have abused that one, and the stickiness is getting a little bit non-existent. It's not as sticky as it used to be. And when a couple of times when I've put it down on a project and I start using my paste, it'll slip. So what I did, I will show you what I got. Let me see if I can find it here. This is, I got this from the Michael's Craft Store. This is called Tacky Spray. Okay? And all I do is I take the stencil, get somewhere where you don't care where you're going to be spraying, either go out in your garage or something. I've got an area down here that I use sometimes because then your floors will get sticky and if you spray on the wall or anything, because it is tacky spray. All I do is take my stencil off of this and I just gently, I hear that? It's just like paint, spray paint. You have to shake it up. I take my stencil and I hold it up, sticky side towards me, and I just gently spray. I don't get it way up there so that there's clumps of the stickiness. I just do a mist, okay? And I kind of go like this a little bit, let it dry so that when I put it down on my project's not gonna get all like clumpy sticky. This works really well. I've used a couple other kinds over the years and I really like this one. This one works the best for me anyway. And I got it at Michael's Craft Store. And I would think any other craft store would probably have it. And I love this, it says repositionable tacky spray. So when you're putting this down on your project, it's not gonna stick and you can't move it. It's sticky, but it's repositional. It works really well. So that's another tip for you too. Please comment or private message me if you have any other questions that I'm not covering. A person contacted me and said, hey, could you do a video on how to wash the stencils? Things like that I don't necessarily think of right now or all the time because I've been doing it for so long and I'm just used to doing it. Please, if you guys got questions, tell me in the comments. I'm going to start doing possibly on Tuesdays. I'm going to do Tip Tuesday where I start doing stuff like that, where I'm showing behind the scenes of things that I do so that you guys can get more of a feel how to set up your own studio, craft room, your own area where things work better for you, and because you kind of see how I do it. And then whatever works for you that I do, and whatever doesn't work for you, find your own little groove. But I'm going to start doing that on Tuesday. So please private message me some questions, comment somewhere, so that I know what questions you want me to cover on Tip Tuesday, and I will cover that. Because someone told me, hey, I want to know how to clean the transfers. So that made me go, yeah, I don't think I've done that in quite a while, a video on that. So that's why I did it. So please let me know what things you guys want to see on Tip Tuesday. Another thing I want to show you guys real quick before I get off here. Since we're talking about the stencils, people have asked me, Diana, how do you store your stencils? So there's so many different ways to store your stencils. Some people do them in drawers. Some people have some other kind of filing system. I've seen like those plastic buckets, like what you would use for files. They've used those, which is a great idea. And never know, I might use that down the road. I'm starting after 2.5 years getting a lot of stencils. So I am starting to get kind of overwhelmed, and I might have to start doing some different systems. But this is what is working for me right now. I have a 3-ring binder. I actually have 2 3-ring binders. I have one for spring and summer, and I have one for fall and winter. This is a 3-ring binder. You guys can see that. And that's it. Easy peasy. I kind of have my own system in my head, like this one's all my coffee and tea ones right here. I have a section, I don't know if that's it, but I have a section that has like everything to do with home. My smaller ones that go on my either smaller boards like this, or on my house cutouts. So it's the smaller ones. I have all the house ones together, all the home, you know, it says like bless this home or welcome to my home. Those are all in one. So, I mean, you come up with your own, right? Your own little system. These are all my flowers. Can you guys see that? These are all my flowers in this one. There's my Easter eggs. I am noticing that I might start, this is all my kitchen stuff right here. I have a whole pile of those, and they're all kind of the same size. I am starting to notice that I kind of need to start doing, even in my spring and summer, this is my spring and summer one, that I'm going to have to start doing dividers, because I have so many in here now, and I have to flip through the whole thing to find what I'm looking for. And I might even have to do a 3-ring binder that's not necessarily spring, summer, fall, or winter. It could be all year round, right? Because you do have a lot of stencils that are all year round, like this one right here is. Kitchen stuff, right? So my 3-ring binder works really well for my smaller stencils. Okay, so that gives you an idea, right? Now, for my bigger stencils, I have a portfolio. Now, I have a fall and winter portfolio, and I have a spring and summer portfolio. And I probably need to get maybe one that's just for all seasons, right? So this one is 9 by 12. So this is for my bigger ones. Okay. Pretty self-explanatory, right? And all it is they're in the sleeves, and they come out the top. And you put them in there. And again, they've all got the backing on them, right? I cleaned them and washed them. They've all got the backing on them, and I just put them in there. Now, I could take you guys off of there for a second. Now, my really huge ones. Some people ask me that, so I'm going to take you guys off of here and show you. I don't know if I can turn this around. Yes, I can. For my really huge ones, I have a pegboard. Okay, here's my pegboard. And this is starting to get overwhelming for me. I'm gonna have to figure something else out. this used to also be my daughter's craft room, and so she used to sew, and so she's got a bunch of sewing stuff. She doesn't sew as much anymore, and I asked her if I could take this down. So I might put another pegboard over there, and probably that one over there, I'm thinking maybe would be like holidays, because I don't use those as much, and then my table's right here, so I wouldn't have to reach them all the time. But this one over here would be the ones I use more, if that makes sense. Because this thing is really getting full. And I've only got 2 hooks on here because I have a shelf over here. So, and since I have you guys off of here, look at this mess out here. A lot of my stencils are out here right now, because this is another way that I do things, is I start putting together ideas and piling them on my husband's pool table. That's a whole nother issue. And I can take them off real easily if he's wanting to play pool. So I have ideas sitting here. Look, I'm going to make some towels. So I have my towels here, and I have my stencils that I'm thinking about using on this towel. So that's another idea, is that I just kind of piece things together. And what is this here? Oh, yep. So I'm thinking about staining that, and I'm wanting to put that on there. Now, every idea that I have down here, I don't necessarily do, but like I love this one. Here's one of my house cutouts, and this is Love Lives Here. That would look really cute on there, and I could put some twine or something, or a heart or whatever. You can even paint this and then do this a different, color. So anyway, let me turn this back around. Hopefully that helped you guys get an idea of how to clean your stencils, was my main point. So it's very easy to clean those stencils and use them over and over and over again. The company says 20 times, but you take good care of them again, and you can use them over and over and over again. And again, you can use that tacky spray. So really, the investment in these transfers are huge, because when I buy one transfer, say I buy a transfer for $14, okay? And I use that transfer on a board, and I sell that board for $20, I've already made my investment back already, and I can still use that transfer another millions of times, right? So these transfers are awesome. I absolutely love them. I love how easy they are to use. I love that you can use them on any surface. You can use them with ink. You can make t-shirts. You can make any surface you can think of, you guys. You can use these transfers on, these stencils. They're called transfer stencils, so sometimes I'll call them transfers, sometimes I'll call them stencils. But you can use them on anything. Any surface you can think of, you either use the ink or the paste, and you can use them over and over and over. The paste comes in these jars. I have them on my shelf here. I've got my paste right here. And then I have all my inks right here. The inks, of course, would go on anything you'd wash, like the towels, like I've seen people put them on shoes and hats and t-shirts. And then the paste would be anything. You could use the ink on mugs too. And the paste would be anything like boards and stuff like that. Like that house you've seen over there. Any surface like that. So hopefully some of that stuff is explained. I want to get more into answering your guys' questions instead of just sitting here and showing you a project and be done with it, because a lot of times you guys will message me or comment, you don't quite understand how these transfer stencils are used. Even though you see me do the project, you still have other questions. So please comment, message me, and let me know what questions you have. I'm going to do Tip Tuesday, And I'm going to do What's Up Wednesday, where I give you guys information about some things because I have some upcoming things that I'm working on. And then I am going to go back to Make It Mondays. I used to do that way back when, and I'm going to go back to doing that. And then I'll do sometimes Saturdays. So any questions you guys got? Just pop me a comment or a message. Thanks for stopping by. Say hi in the comments. Do hashtag replay. Let me know that you guys seen this. So thanks a lot, guys, for stopping in. Bye.